Hi, this is Richard Kim, life coach, and this is the sixth and final simple step to change your life for the better. In the first, we looked at purpose. In the second, we looked at introduce the wheel of life. In the third, we looked at positive daily habits, and then in the fourth, we looked at tweaking those habits. In the fifth, we looked at the daily journals and coincidences, and in this sixth and final session, we're going to be looking at hugs. Not the physical hugs, but the huge, unbelievable, great goals. Now, if you think back to the wheel of life and the circle and all the segments, a bit like a bike wheel, that was a sort of 2D illustration. But we want to think of one of those concertina lamps in a room, or I've got like this cup. So you've got all your habits that you're doing towards, which are helping you towards 10 out of 10 for each area of your life. But then we're going to introduce like the aim. So that's like pushing you to extremes, climbing a mountain or whatever. So the huge, unbelievable, great goals are things which you wouldn't have believed possible for yourself. So one or two examples might be, you might be interested in politics, and so your dream, although you might not think you'll get there, I want you to think, how high can you go? So you think, I am going to have a go at getting to Prime Minister. If you're interested in sport, you might think of yourself as getting a gold medal in the Olympics. If you're a singer, you imagine yourself live on stage at Glastonbury. So you think the highest goal you can. It doesn't matter whether you think it's achievable or not at the moment. It's an unbelievable goal. But anyway, so all your positive daily habits, if you keep them up, give you the foundation to push your dreams higher and higher. So we talked about moving from a 6 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. Then you can change your habits, tweak them slightly. So at 7, feeling 7 about a career or something, you introduce another habit which gets you from a 7 to an 8. And so it works like that. But now you've got in your mind what your great, unbelievable goals are. Again, you can have one, you can have 2 or 3, and you can run them consecutively. As an example, so you're a 25-year-old, you've been given a gift as a designer. You've always constructed things since you've been small. You enjoy playing with Lego, that sort of thing. And your designs are sort of starting to bring pleasure to other people. So in terms of your positive daily habits, you're probably a bit fed up in your current position because you've got all these dreams, but you don't seem to be getting very far at work. But you might know that you're spending too much of your leisure time, say, playing video games. So instead of playing video games for 3 hours a day, just do 2.5 hours. Save that other half an hour for looking into progressing your work. You might be doing some extra training each night. It might be doing some research on the computer, looking at great design companies, just trying to push your knowledge or get other experiences. So now when you've sort of created that extra half an hour, in sort of 5 or 6 weeks, you might feel you're getting a little bit of somewhere. So then you could sort of push up, try and change it from a 7 to an 8. So you start thinking now about maybe spending that half an hour, instead of doing the research, actually applying for jobs. You might then get invited to interview. You might get another job. You can get into a job that you enjoy doing. and then you're looking from an 8 to a 9, and you might be so engrossed in your work one day after working there 6 months that your boss is really impressed with what you're doing, and he might set you on another project. Say he entered you into a national competition or something. He said, "Oh, you can do a bit of work on this for our design company," and then you finish third in the national competition. You get an all expenses trip, down to London with your design, and it's you move in your career very gradually. Keep introducing a new target to motivate you a bit further, and in time you'll get closer and closer to this unbelievable goal. So, yeah, the huge, unbelievable goal of that individual might have been to be the chief exec of his own design company. So, let's have a look. So, when you've got your purpose, that you've found out what your main skill is as a designer, then you've sort of given yourself a huge, unbelievable goal. Then you're using your positive daily habits, you're creating your daily journals, and all sorts of coincidences will start happening. And then this overall aim, takes shape. When I set my goals about 6 months ago, one of them was to set up, this was just not one of my unbelievable goals, this was one of my sort of six month goals, to set up in business as a life coach. I was motivated like never before. I haven't done any decorating for 20 years, shamefully. But I was motivated enough because I knew how to get a room ready in the house. And so I was in the room every day, sort of painting and decorating. And it was just this sort of drive towards something completely different that made me decorate the room. Now, I decorated all the room, but no one sees it because, apart from a couple of pictures, a picture and a certificate on the wall, I have got other things in the room, but you don't see them because I've had to sort of adapt my goal, because obviously we can't have one-to-one meetings when we're in lockdown. So I've had to learn new skills and use Zoom conferencing. And so I'm doing things like YouTube videos like this that I would have never dreamed possibly, that was going to be in a year's time. But I'm just, like I say, motivated to do it because I know I've got to progress towards my unbelievable goal. I don't need to share those unbelievable goals with anyone, as you wouldn't. But every part of what you do, in day-to-day life, you've got that in your subconscious, in the back of your mind, and you know whether you're getting closer or further away to that. So, and I think the incredible incidences that I talked about before, those help overcome some of the barriers. So if, for instance, I've had 19 incredible incidences in the last couple of weeks, somebody saying, "Oh, you didn't do such and such very well, or you could have done better in some other area," it doesn't really have that big an impact because I know I'm in the right direction and in the right flow. Right, I think I need to mention a bit about the other tips and techniques used in life coaching. If you were to have a one-to-one video conference, we can look at all sorts of different areas. So there's things about building confidence. There's the Circle of Excellence, which is a brilliant 2-minute tool to help you with presentations. If you're not feeling confident in any situation, it helps you just sort of to step into the Circle of Excellence and just be a different person, basically, be the best you can be. There's things about finding your own limiting beliefs, things that are stopping you from getting to where you want to be. There's a donut exercise, and that looks how you interact with other people and how it affects how they respond back to you. There's lots of bits of cognitive behavior therapy, especially that helps you with self-esteem. This is good for people at college or university, and things like black and white thinking. And I might have mentioned before, it's like with Ronnie O'Sullivan, the greatest snooker player in the world, probably in the last 5-10 years, and how he used to, if he messed up one shot, that used to destroy his game. So he'd go to pieces then, because he was so annoyed with himself for making one bad shot. And yet, if he'd have just put that to one side, and he would have probably carried on, won most of the games he ever played. So there's just little tools and techniques you can use for all aspects of your life. And yeah, that black and white thinking, that's particularly good if you're a bit of a perfectionist. So understanding that there are all these shades of grey in between. All right, I think that's the whole package of 6 steps in just over an hour. I very much hope the hour you've invested does change your life for the better. And like I said, if you have any incredible incidences that have happened as a result of finding out your purpose and starting towards a new you, a different life, not completely different, because you're obviously the same person, but it will somehow hopefully have enhanced your life like it has done mine. I mean, I can't wipe all my previous years away, because I've had a wonderful life and full of lots of good experiences. But this has just taken me to a new level completely, and I hope it does for you. Okay, I'm Richard Kim, a life coach. My website is www.richardkim.co.uk. My email is richkimlife@gmail.com. Like I said, please get in contact with me with either your incredible incidences, or if you'd like to find out more about the one-to-one video conferencing or sessions, I can make them as long or as short as you want. We can do a half an hour session if that's convenient. And yeah, that's it. So I hope this changes your life for the better. Okay, see you.